Eat some fruit. Of course, this apple right here to get you full. If you eat fruit, if you eat meat, well, apples ain't gonna get you full. No. Ooh, this mother sweet too, boy. Sweeter than a mother's love, man. You already know. Man, America had all the fruits, berries, and melons over there. Of course, there was other, other lands with other fruits and stuff, but America had the horn of plenty, man, with all the fruits, the corn, all that. Roll the corn. Shout out to We Know the Truth Now. You're dropping them on your ass. Mississippi knocking, man. So yeah, we're talking about this psychology, the spiritual psychology. We're gonna jump right into it, man, because cluster B personality disorder is real. And that's what the world is plagued with now. Due to all this gaslighting and projecting. Now we got a lot of smear campaigns going on from both sides. You're dealing with America, Democrats and Republicans and just everything. You've been seeing a lot of shit been going on for at least the last 100 years since we've been able to watch TV, listen to the airwaves and stuff. So yeah, the Cabbage Patch Kids, a lot of information coming out about that now. We was talking about that before. Cabbage Patch Kids were like the kids who was basically born in a laboratory. A lot of white folks are starting to, I'm talking about WIGHT, like they starting to realize, they're starting to like, damn, ask questions like where the hell they from, like on the movies and shit. Like, where the fuck am I from? And niggas is like, man, we've been trying to tell your ass, we've been trying to be patient with you, but goddamn, we're putting the power in, does that help? I'm not mad, I'm just like, this was coming around, man, spiritual psychology. So, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody, y'all can't seem to even understand each other? You like just, when you step forward, next thing you know, you're stepping backwards. It's like, what the hell's going on here? It's a psychology issue. You're dealing with cluster B personality traits and pathological disorder. Most can gaslight their insecurities on you. It's deep. It happens with your mamas, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, your relatives, everybody, your peers, all of that. Even teachers who may be jealous of you as if you're young and you might be smart. They may purposefully teach you the wrong way. When you can catch on a certain way that they talk, they can teach you the wrong way. Because they probably jealous of a little child and shit. Cluster B personality disorder. And what everybody wants with this cluster B personality, because we can pull this right up. I can't pull it up right now, but we can pull it up though. Cluster B personality. You'll see that the gaslighting and projection, it comes at a, with people needing enablers. Like, oh, you won't let me do that? And they try to gaslight you into enabling them to do their horror. Peace, Ivan, what's happening? Yo, thanks for jumping in. We out here on the lava rock, man. I had to get these crystals on a knocker's foot. The soul, that's what they say, right? So, I'm stepping on some crystals and watching out for the Cabbage Patch because they be coming up to a knocker and shit. You can tell the difference between certain Cabbage Patch Kids. Because at this point, they turn into garbage pail kids and shit. They're not really trying to fix themselves. But ones that are trying to fix themselves, they listening. They actually taking heed. They want to get into heaven too. They're like, man, niggas is a beautiful thing. I want to be around them. Because this talks about deportation taking place. And this is dealing with this cluster B personality disorder. Mug's not finna have this type of psychological trauma being around mugs and trying to have a normal life. Especially when you give money to people and allow them to do certain things. Commit crimes, hate crimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's milkshake, what's happening, milkshake? You know what I'm saying? So, with the whole little complex of this cluster B personality, we're gonna jump into the borderline. That's dealing with a highly sexualized man and woman who's probably been passed down, the genes been passed down to him as far as like being over sexualized. They could have been molested at birth, or they could have been having incest with someone very older or their age. It just never grew out of it. Hence, when they get in relationships, they be so hypersexual, that's how they want to get their value. It's dealing with black, white, Asian persuasion. This is like true on all levels, y'all. So, within the Cabbage Patch community, this is like pathological. This is normal. This is no trait. Meaning that it can't be helped too tough. In order to see your own deepness and darkness, you gotta face yourself. Hence, we see a lot of niggas. The niggas population in the world is facing themselves. We done seen our lower self. We still didn't give up the Creator. We love the Creator. CJ, what's happening? What's happening? Man, you know, just sitting back, man. You know, we talking about these Cabbage Patchers, man. You know what I'm saying? And no mean in a bad way, but that's what they call them. You know what I'm saying? This now coming out. And I had to get out here to get away, you know what I'm saying, off of the, you know, they out here, they're around, but it's cool. I'm over here maintaining them. So, but some of them, they do come around. Like where I'm at, they enable the drunk, you know, so I'm here eating a burrito. Motherfucker, hey, that's what's up, dude. I wonder what time it is where y'all at. You know, it's still, the sun is still right here, so y'all still can see the sun wherever you from. I mean, the sun is right over my head where y'all can still see it. Funny how the world works, huh? I'm just out here reporting back, you know what I'm saying, to the tribe, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hope you enjoy that burrito too, G. Well, psychology. You ever been with a girl in a relationship, man? You thought everything was cool. You like, damn, then she liking me and shit. Then you know, she just flipped the script. She really didn't flip the script, she had a mask on. Dealing with cluster B personality, it means she changed that shit up. And a lot of these traits came on, it was learned behavior. I'll take my back. It was learned behavior. Some pathological, that means they was born with it, but learned behavior, they just catch on and see what they do, see what people do, and to see how they can get things, they learn how to do this. So they'll idolize, devalue, and discard. It's dealing with ideology. Well, idolizing a motherfucker, basically. Not ideology, but idolizing them up. When you deal with that, yo, that right there alone, it separates you from the all spirit, the all source, the creator. We idolize celebrities and shit. And then when they fuck up, they set up a scenario so we can be like, oh, see, told you it wasn't perfect. Meanwhile, in our mind, they kind of gaslighted on us that they were kind of perfect and shit. Because they only gave us certain media, like they only do this and that. Not the good, bad, and the ugly, you know what I'm saying? At 7 p.m., LA, okay, cool. Yeah, so, okay, so it's about, what is it here, man? It's got to be 3. It's 3:27, 3:26. That's a few hours difference. You know what I'm saying? He said, yes, I did, so I stopped. What's up? What happened? What'd you say, Randolph? What'd you stop doing? Oh, what I was just talking about. Okay. Or something, I think, you know. Hate that film farm filter pacha, P. Eating the fruits, I'm sorry, eating, you know what I'm saying? But the fruits kind of like produce all the mucus start coming up right away. Okay. It's a freak thing. I just did my damn chest today, man. We're gonna get into workouts too for all of us who's the meek ones, man, who've been through the hoods and we grew up. We lost some friends, some close ones that we would be like, damn, I missed them motherfuckers, or they would have been like this. But who would have known though? You know what I'm saying? Most High use this type of stuff to better you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he said I'm dating her. Okay, we're talking about that cluster B. We're talking about that cluster B personality. Man, you know, it's tricky. That's how I had to get back on it. So thank you, man. I appreciate you, Randolph. Appreciate you. So, yeah, man, that cluster B, when you're dealing with a woman that got that, idolize and devalue and discard, it can happen in real fast. Like in cycles, sometimes she can do that shit like 4 or 5 times a day. Some, they won't do it for a month or two. Some years. It just depends on how cold they is with that cluster B, man. With that borderline. The borderline, that means they're really highly sexual, psychotic individuals, man. We all live something like that, you know. But when you're dealing with, you know, a woman and she has BPD, a borderline personality, it's a very intricate and tricky situation because they can try to make it seem like you walking on eggshells and shit around them. You can't say nothing, you can't call out their shit because they got that mask on. That mask slip, it means that they already done. They're trying to find more supply. And they get this from a personality disorder from, you know, we haven't really seen it as deep, excuse me, but we're dealing with the Cabbage Patch. Because they came with the whole cluster B personality and married their way into the system. You know, it's a very manipulative thing. It's a very manipulative personality disorder because when I say, because you got cluster A and cluster C, but we're going to deal with the functional one, cluster B, with all the narcissism, borderlines, and sociopaths, and histrionics and shit. Oh, shit, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, good people. So you see we're going right off the top, man. You know what I'm saying? Narcissism, yeah. That's NPD. So NPD is all a part of the cluster B personality disorder. It's in the ICD-9, ICD-10 terminology, medical terminology. Really, it's now ICD-10. They're already, they X'd out ICD-9. So anyhow, narcissism is in all of them. Narcissism is based on having people around them, depending on what type of narcissist they are. You have, just to separate it, we have a narcissist who is a cerebral narc, a very smart narcissist. You know what I'm saying? That can get you hooked on their intelligence. This is what we see a lot in the conscious community. The motherfucker that's real smart and they can get a badass looking girl, because she, on the other hand, could be a somatic narcissist. Or somatic narc, meaning that more on a physical shit. So it's like she's used to drawing men up on the physical, so she can get another somatic narc to do what she say. You know what I'm saying? But when she comes across that cerebral narc, it's a whole different ball game because he's a little bit smarter. He knows her movements, so it's harder for her to really capture him. She got to give him a lot of pussy. You know what I'm saying? So he can give in and shit and break down and shit and get out of his mind. She can be out of his mind. That's her whole goal. Subconsciously though, you know what I'm saying? I watch some stuff real fast. I got 2 pineapples up there and Mills walking past it. Let me look around. Hold on. Okay.
So anyhow.
Oh. We're gonna jump right back in there. Boom. It says like you're like an animal. You daggone right, they're like an animal. It's like the animal mindset, you know? Even though we got that brain part up here, the human mind, the God brain and shit, and we got mammalians and reptilian brain and insectoid, they all on all that. It's a fight or flight response, see? Everything that's done with them, you know? So when we're dealing with one that's like, you can actually have a relationship with them. If you like toxicity, you gotta let them go like a cat. They really won't have a lot of sex if you can do that, because they'd be kind of crazy. But once you start being attached, which they're not used to, which is love, you're triggering something in them, they'll run away to one of their supply sources, depending on what type of personality disorder they got. Now we're sticking with the narcissism real quick because everybody throwing it around, but we're not talking about what type of narc. Okay, we just covered the cerebral narc, the mind motherfucker, and the somatic narc, the thick ass broad, man. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, man, she thick than a mug. Usually with narcs, if they're just a plain narc, the personality you can kind of tell. It's almost like psychotic a little bit, but with just a little bit of personality. Versus a borderline, they're psychotic, but with a lot of personality. All right, we're not gonna go into histrionics yet, you know. So with the cerebral narc, always try to get the actual supply from the somatic narc, because she has status. She may be a physical, body, or she may have a status in the community. He may have status. She may look at his mental as a high status, or he may have a high job or something like that, So it gets real tricky with that, depending on what type of narc you're dealing with. Now, you're dealing with an over-sexualized person. When you're dealing with, borderline, that's a whole nother ballgame, because the sexual nature, most women are borderlines. They're cutters and shit. And the ones that are the hottest are the ones who's cutting the most. I mean, that's what sexy motherfuckers, man. I mean, if you look at them, it's like they have a perfect fucking body. Like, if you look, the gap, the hip come out, the tits are just, everything about them motherfuckers. Even if they don't even look a certain part, I got people behind it. Even if they don't even look a certain part, the actual sex appeal that they have is just oozing off there, just oozing off of them, And with a cerebral narc, that's mainly a cerebral narc, if he tries to get a borderline as a supply source, meaning that's something that he can go to and that can validate their weak insecurities. It's about validation. So when they have people around them, it's like having yes men. As long as them yes men can get what they need from that mug, whether they can use that narc's name because he got a good name, or he's good in the sports or something like that, and they can use his name that everybody make money off of, kind of like a Jordan, but Jordan is kind of like psychopathic too. All psychopaths are narcs, but not all narcs are psychopaths. It's different. But a borderline is basically a psychopath, a sexual psychopath, And they're very dangerous as a man and a woman, because they can make you lose your mind, and then they will fuck somebody that night because they feel abandoned. And that's when that abandonment issue come in, that trauma. You be like, damn, I should got another boyfriend. It's because she felt abandoned by you. They haven't really addressed that abandonment issue that plagues them deep within in their soul, in their being. And they kind of, as a narcissist, I'm gonna say this one, kind of relies on a man to have that abandonment trauma, so they can kind of string you along. Once they see you got that little trauma, or you invested into them emotionally via nuts, you know what I'm saying? Because if you did it emotionally and you weren't busting nuts, it's easier for you to get up. You may shed a tear, but you'll be able to move around. Versus if you've been busting nuts on these psychological disordered women, men, whoever in the fuck, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna draw more energy into you. You're gonna be more invested into them, because all that time and energy that you put into their asses, especially working and making them have sex, or they're actually looking into you and draining you. They know what the fuck they're doing to keep their supply, and the goal is to keep as many supply as possible. That's why you got these celebrities. They're very psychotic, G. I'm talking about so psychotic that they gotta have millions as a supply source to tell their story to. You know what I'm saying? To validate their weak insecurities. Randolph would say, but they don't get it. They go to someone else. They do. And they feel sad about doing it because they done allowed themselves to go even more deeper, you know, and to allow their body to be abused and abandoned. A lot of these borderline personality chicks, I'm telling you, they know they're sexy already, Chief. And they know that they're very sexual. They know that. They don't want to really unleash that on you unless they feel that you're like a mean one, and then they unleash it on you. And they're like, oh, he's just a narc? Because it's always like a narc with a borderline. These two need each other. Two narcs together, they may make a business, and that's cool. But a borderline and a narc, I mean a borderline personality disorder woman or male with a narc woman or a narc male, man, those two together is going to be the most toxic, because they're going to have the most idolizing and devaluing, discarding cycles because of their difference in their contrasts and differences, man. One is more in the mind and non-emotionalist, and just non-emotional. That's like the narcs. Even if they do have a body, their emotional heart is like void and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, versus a borderline, they're in their emotions. Everything they do is about passion. It's about moving around. It's kind of like the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands if you're dealing with tarot, you know what I'm saying? And if we're dealing with narcissists, we're dealing with like the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords. Somebody that's a really mental type shit. I got to peep around, look at my business and shit, because I got people checking me out. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, you already know. And just to basically deal with a BPD woman, man, is like, you know, you got to kind of give respect. You can actually keep those relationships, because a narc is always trying to find somebody. A BPD, she'll stick with you. As long as you stay, as even a male too, if it's vice versa and shit, you know what I'm saying? They will stick with you because they have a fear of abandonment. It's so deep, they don't want to lose them. They don't want to lose nobody. That's why they're so quick to go to another relationship, because they want to have somebody to replace you as quick as possible, so they don't have to feel that void of why they did all these different things. These people probably did a lot of shit. Even if they done grew up and went into porn later on. A lot of these borderlines are porn stars and shit. Histrionics, which is voluptuous, you know, very muscular, thick, you know, out there type of mug. A broken histrionic, you know, they're in porn as well. You know, they could be naked damn near anybody. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm probably, but it's not. I mean, it can be, but I know my lower self and shit, so I already figured out, like, yo, we got the cerebral, we got the narc, we got a whole little comorbid in my ass and shit, but you had to sit by yourself, and that's a fearful thing for a narc or a sociopath or a psychopath or even a histrionic to do. A histrionic they hard to be by themselves. Now we're jumping into histrionic. Histrionics, you see them with a lot of friends. They got a lot of people and shit. Everybody thinks a histrionic is really cool because they can come up and just talk to them out of nowhere, everywhere. So, you know, and histrionic, they cool with that. They'll let you chop it up with them. They won't even devalue you or nothing. But the moment you devalue them or be like, man, you don't really value me as a person, you just put me in line with everybody, that's when they'll replace you and shit. Because that's when they don't want to deal with that whole little emotional connection like that. Even if they develop it on their own, you know. And as they grow, you'll see they'll break. They'll loosen up a little bit. Histrionics are a little different, you know. You can look at a histrionic kind of like a Deion Sanders or something like that. He's like a narcissistic histrionic, you know. You can look at you just see just the personalities. You know, you got the over sexualized mugs. It's like a lot of your R&B singers are borderline personalities, men. Ain't too many women R&B singers, but if they are, depending on who they are, in the recent years, I would say they kind of borderline personality, and they kind of like healing type shit. They cutters, so they're starting to heal and shit. But a narcissistic man is to kind of look at what he is, or who we can get an idea. Narcissism, I'm gonna say, not by itself, but a sociopath. It's like Jay-Z or somebody. Jay-Z is a sociopathic man, you know what I mean? So, and it's deep. And there's comorbids, people that function. It says, who's checking you out? People, everywhere, man. You know, they kind of what you call. We got the birds, they over here chilling, but people kind of pull up, and I'm just sitting in the sun, so it's kind of like the barrier, but how far they can go. They're like, oh, I can't go right there. Don't you go over that symbol type shit. Well, I'm in the light though, so it's like they definitely can't go. You know what I mean? Said, well, weren't you with? So it depends on the muscle. Any woman really don't want all that, but if you got the whole package, the intellect, the emotional stability, the whole her emotion, to be able to control, you know, not control it, but to be able to be stable when she's going, being patient and shit. You know what I'm saying? The working out is just disciplining yourself to be able to deal with your own emotions, and you know, this is part of the game. And this is what we add on to the game now with the fuss, because they didn't add this into the game. They just want to tell us about, you know, the alpha males and shit like that. You know, who cares about that, man? We're going to go ahead and get this eating right, and we're going to go ahead and get the right, get our right psychological game in order, our emotional game in order, because a lot of us do have the cluster B personality. A lot of us, it's hard to function. I mean, we can function in society, but the trauma with certain issues of being abandoned, it depends on what you had to face when you was growing up, what your grandma or mama had to face. See, these things, they're actually in your spirit or in your DNA. And it's like you put these genes on, it's like, boom. Oh, that might not be your spirit, but it's in the genes. And so if you let the genes or the flesh overtake you, and it's like, you know, that's when you become susceptible to hellish events and a lot of wicked thoughts, shit like that. So you'll know when you're down there, because you kind of teeter on going up, and it's a ever going thing. You go up and then you come down a little. You go up, down a little, up, until you finally get up. Then you realize how far down you was. Like, man, I was thinking about busting it on. Yep, they had it there for you, and Most High is merciful. But yeah, but they had it there for you though, waiting on you, like, just in case you need to get weak, you know. But yeah, when you're dealing with a cluster B personality disorder chick, it can be a histrionic, but she'll have a lot of friends, but she won't cheat on you. She'll honor you. Histrionics, they don't have to give validation from sex like a borderline woman does. She'll do sex, she'll get your head, you know, whatever. She's scared to do the stuff, but she will do it. I had a lot of borderline personality women, and I'm a little bit more advanced than they are, and so it was like a problem for them. But, you know, I've been celibate for the last 6 years, so it's different. And before then, I was already doing 3 months at a time, 30 days. I started off with 30 days and all that stuff, or 3 months at first, and then, you know, did 30 days, and then went back up to like 4 months and down, and then up to 8 months. And I figured out the steady path on what happens when you do these things, instead of just going straight through it and be like, oh, I can only explain it once, but I realized I had to go over it and be like, oh, okay, this is really what happens. It's a pattern, you know. But yeah, it's, you know, semen retention and all that. It's about building your person, your everything up, your light body, you know. But also when you're dealing with women who are broken, it's not saying that I'm not dealing with a broke woman like she ain't got no money, but she's broken spiritually, G. That means that she can idolize and devalue and discard you. Take things that you say the wrong way. She may be like, she don't believe in herself. She may be like, I don't believe that about myself, you know, because she's been giving herself up sexually so easily in the recent years, or ever since she's been, you know, having sex and shit, fucking. A lot of things happen, you know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with one of those, it's very intricate, even though the sex is off the chain with it, you know what I mean? And she'll honor you. But once she feels that abandonment issue is coming, she definitely will have a supply source lined up waiting. So when your ass is going for one night, man, I'm talking about all it takes is one night. She'll back on, she's on that line. Hey, can you come over? You know, and they're gonna hit that shit. And before you know it, you're in that toxic cycle with the new motherfucker that she just been hitting, and now you're jealous of the new person. Or she goes back to the she does the whole little hoovering thing, which is what a narcissist do. They hoover back over their old supplies, their exes, their friends, just to see what they're doing, if they're doing better without them, or if they just evil, or if they just like evil and sad and depressed and shit since they last, you know, go around, and they just come back to kind of put the rest of the daggers up in them, like, here you go, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they do to hoovering. But a borderline doesn't really do that too tough. They just come and try to get that sex, and then they be gone, you know what I mean? So, but they'll look around, they'll hoover over you, meaning that they'll look at your social media, you know, think about sending you an email, you know, whatever, just asking people about you, you know, that's what they do. It says, Malik, what's happening? It says, tips on getting like-minded females as a fruitarian in Babylon. It's going to be pretty tight, but you know what? We in the season of manifesting, yo. All it takes is one drop, boom, it trickles out to the rest of the world. You know what I mean? So basically, if this whole thing in Babylon, it's not even really focusing on the woman, because you're going to attract her. You're going to become the flower. The bees is going to come to your ass. That's an old saying, you know? So once you become the actual flower, what you really is, they come into you conversations. I mean, like, they're gonna be like, damn. They're not even gonna be like-minded, because you're gonna be stronger. They're just gonna be like, damn, I'm gonna chill with him, because now she interested in your mind, like how you is in her body. You're gonna be interested. She's gonna be interested in your mind now. She don't even care about the sex appeal, but you're gonna be knowing how to make her have multi orgasms, because she's a multi orgasmic creature, and you know how to do that. And she's knowing how to at least strengthen herself to not give in to the lower fleshly desires of the world, and that's even doper. You'll force her to be into this once you start being, you know, celibate a little bit more, semen retention, honoring your semen. You know, she won't sabotage you as quick. You won't have as many Jezebels coming up on you. But you have prime women. I'm talking about, I don't care what age. I'm talking about from the youngest. I mean, they can be half your age plus 5. I'm talking about, they can be some young ones, they can be some old ones, man. But they are pretty much the same age in the game and shit. It's just the men, you know, we mature a little bit more. You can have to talk to an older woman that's mature and they bad. You just get game. You just be talking. Y'all can have, it just strengthens you. Some, they'll try to, you know, they think they're strong and like-minded like you, and they'll try to, you know, bomb you. And that's when you got to be hella sharp. You know what I'm saying? You like, I got the light. I got the semen, bitch. What the fuck wrong with you? You know what I mean? And so they didn't understand that the semen was very important. Now they do, though, because they see that it's light. They can live off of it. If y'all was on the island, you had shit to eat, you can bust a few nuts and shit. She had them BCAs and she'll live to carry on the tune. Meanwhile, your ass is drained. What happened to him? She done sucked all the nut out this thing and waited for the motherfucking helicopter to come. You know what I'm saying? There was no food around. The BCAs coming out of his balls. I don't know about no nigga. I don't know if you can drink. You can't drink no milk from no brush. She ain't always producing milk. Nigga always producing light, man. What the fuck is what we talking about? This ain't urine therapy. Man, this shit's serious, man. Most High gave us as the we the ones, nigga. So they know this once you start, you know, honoring your semen. That's the tip. You know what I'm saying? Even though now we got to the point where we just want to let that shit go on everybody. But we weren't really like that. We just got to tune back in like, damn, I'm really not like that. We got subloaded, that's all. But that's really the tip, G. It is mind, body, G. It definitely is mind, body, and the spirit. The spirit is definitely needs to be cultivated along with the body, even though, if not more, because that's what's here. That's what's moving the body. You got to sleep at night to produce this DMT molecule. Depending on how much DMT molecule your body, your pineal and all this can produce, depends on the type of resurrection, the type of dreams you have. If you're a visionary, or you just one who's subjected to other motherfuckers, like on the first, second resurrection, on the first resurrection, like after you transition type shit, where it's nothing but just like wicked looking atrocities ass beings, motherfucker, that happen to make it into the world where you transitioned at, but you just see it now on a higher vibratorial frequency. They show this all in movies, but they don't explain it quite like that. When you see some horrific ass movies, it's aliens or just shit that's on the world, and the world's like, this is the future. The future's your death, motherfucker. And yeah, that's the future. So it's like, if you want to get into the future where they show, oh, it's this light, these people are so advanced, they got neon lights, then that future, it comes about, that's your future too. But it depends on how you strengthen your corporeal body through your light body, and with your light body, you know, things. And eating fruits, berries, and melons is the best way, because Etherians, they don't eat earthly shit. Only atmospherians and demonic entities that have to feed on atmospheric substances of the earth. You know, when they transition, they still have to eat on they still have the desire to eat meat, so they're going to eat atmospheric substances of that. You know, they're still dining with the meat eaters. Whereas if you're eating that fruit, you're already striving to graduate off the earth plane. You're going to be eating light. When the time you get to etheria, you're eating a different type of food, which is just light and photons and shit. But right now, you got to eat light and photons when it's crystallized into liquid light like fruits and shit. In its most compound way, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a slow vibratory way. It's not vibrating as fast, but it's vibrating faster than everything else. You ain't gotta be a hunter-gatherer and run shit down and cut it open while the heart's still bleeding and then go through the process of skinning it and laying upside down and making it drip blood and shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go through all that. And this is, you know, we don't want to go through all that shit. I'm on an island right outside. It's right outside. No, I was like, right outside the Arctic walls, man. I'm joking. I know y'all probably heard about that. The Arctic walls and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. They be like, yo, we in the prison. Like, no, nigga, we not in the prison. We just not gonna let these motherfuckers out. We gotta keep all the spirits and all that shit trapped up in here with you, because we got Big Brother and them coming in doing some excavating and they doing some extra things, and you know what I'm saying? They gotta get some things about it here. We got a lot of parasites in the world, man. So shit, we can't eat all the fruit to get the parasites out, so we gotta remove some of these low vibratorial juices, energies that's hot that we can't see, that's on outside of our 300 and 700 nanometers of sight, sound, taste, and touch. We can't see them and shit. Some of us can. We can be affected depending on how smart they are. You all see this in the movie Ghost. I ain't never checked that out. It's in the movie Ghost. My man had to use his mind and shit to move coins in the corporeal world, physical world. You do that shit in the spirit world too while you're in the flesh. But we forgot. We did know. They got it out the cloud when they came over to America. We had the cloud popping and shit, you know what I'm saying? But he's talking about Tatari and all of that, and we was getting free energy. Yeah, we got information stored in the cloud. They like, oh yeah, these niggas got information in the cloud. This not in the libraries all in. We got shit in the cloud too. So this is how they found out. Damn, niggas is really fruitarians. Oh damn, niggas was eating like this. Their whole land was. All of us, our natives up north, the Ojibways, and we got our mothers, the Choctaws down south, and every man, the Mississippians, man. Was already on it. Now we got to get back on this shit because we allowed the Cabbage Patch to come in and do what they do. And for those who are in Europe, that's you know, are Caucasian or whatnot, I respect y'all because y'all ain't really been trying to go all over the world like that and just spread some dumb shit. Every time I run into like a Caucasian or y'all say European, but you know, it's how they call it. They say Caucasian. Out here they call them howlies, man. That means a breathless being. You know what I'm saying? But anyone who comes here and don't leave and they just dirty and drug addict and meth out, they call them howlies. They're like they don't have no breath, no spirit. But I respect y'all for not being all over the world and causing chaos and shit, man. And every time I meet one that's from anywhere in the UKs or whatever, them been some cool motherfuckers, man. And I've been around them for a while. It wasn't like an idolize, devalue, and discard thing quickly. They was actually cool. Like, oh, this is their personality. This is what they are. They actually honor us. So, look over there. So, you know, I respect that type stuff. When we dealing with individuals, man, who won't leave your home and shit, come over to your home and try to argue with you about what's on your front porch and shit, while you got this over here, so you can't eat that, and it's like, hold up, man, I just invited you over here. You ain't even know how to put food in the ground. They got to show you that shit. Then I give you some land over there in the mountain. I know it's spooked out, but you got some land. I told you don't go outside in the nighttime. It's an Appalachian. I'll be jumping into stuff, man. But well, yeah, it's beautiful, man. It feels good right now because a lot of the energies that we're visiting, like tourists and shit, because you see a lot of Caucasian tourists that rides around. You know what I'm saying? They come here because they visiting everywhere. When I think of tourists, I think of a Caucasian. I just think of everybody, maybe some Asians, but it's not a lot here right now. So it feels good and refreshing. The sun is shining, you know, through the haze, and but still, some things going on, man. Volcanoes are popping. You know what I'm saying? We in the ring of fire though, you know. So it's tight. It's tight. You know what I mean? But with that, I was gonna jump back into that the relationship joint. That cluster B, you can actually function, you can actually work it through, you know. But when you want to attract your twin or what they want to call, you know, it's definitely, that's if you really want the relationship, because you're only gonna have two choices in the end once you master everything, which is your marriage, which the Most High give you that one, it's your twin and whatnot, and then you have your you know, or just straight pure celibacy. When you do that, you go ahead and get to the, you know, it's like Star Trek. Once you get outside, you get back to your etheric family. You out there, y'all going to different star places and shit, calling, listening to the distress calls from certain planets who are being taken over by false gods in their worlds and shit. And we gotta come through and regulate on motherfuckers like, fuck wrong with you, man? I ain't got, no you ain't. How come I come through with all this light and make all your shit disappear? That's what's gonna happen. That's what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? So lining up with that, you'll get whatever you want and desire, G. It's the power of manifestation when you're dealing with your semen retention in your life. You will manifest what you want, good, bad, or ugly. So training yourself to release that serotonin, eating the right foods, the liquid light, you know what I'm saying, the crystalline elements through the fruit that helps you out, is gonna be better. You'll just magnetize things to you that you need. But right now there's a fog going on in America, on the mainland, and it's false heavens is being exposed. So a lot of shit is happening that you see. Thuggy Dove, they right here. They like my little crowd and shit. They're like, yeah, baby, that's right. And so yeah, you know, so that's pretty much what happens. That's what's going on, and it's, you know, that's deep, I know, but it's spiritual psychology. The cluster B, that's the best way to pretty much explain it, because that's the way you can look it up instead of just saying like, man, that mother got mental issues. Like, nah, nigga, this is what happened. He got touched when he was little by a motherfucker 22 years older than him, shit like that, and he was forced to do this, and he was forced to do that, or she, you know, that's what happens. Only the chosens can really actually get better through that, get stronger through that. Some individuals just become weaker. You know, the ones that are called, they can actually become weaker, you know? And so there's called and chosen. They're both is here for a purpose, not called and you don't do nothing. No, you're called and you're doing it. The chosen is one that's a little different too, you know what I mean? So whichever way, we're learning how to navigate ourselves through these relationships because of these traumas that everybody done have, and they done already gaslighted into all of us. So by the time you get into your grown ages, you're dealing with defense mechanisms on how to protect yourself from being abandoned, whether it can be in a friendship, talking to somebody for a second, and then they may be like, yo, I gotta go, man, and then that may can trigger an abandonment issue within your own self, because you probably didn't have that goodbye issue, that hey, I see you later type stuff from a friend or a family member or mom or dad or something, or a lot of friends that got murdered and shit like that. You didn't know that you had an abandonment trauma from that. I had a lot of friends get murdered, and then you had to look at it like, you know, damn, that can trigger abandonment issues. When you look at that, you face it, you start getting the creator more and more. When he had a dog die, I had a dog die, shit. You know what I'm saying? It's psychology. This is how they try to destroy your spirit. And this all happens in spirit war. So that you don't know if that can cause abandonment trauma, because that happens out of nowhere. People have, you know, family members, friends, and all that stuff, man. So it's very important for you to check what you have in yourself. It's gonna take longer than what you expect, as far as like trying to look and go find another chick or something. You know what I mean? Because what we're gonna do is gonna be putting our problems onto them, like one chick to the next. Or we'd be like, man, I should have had me a broad lined up while I was fucking with her. You know what I'm saying? And as you see some of your friends do that and all that, but they're afraid of being by themselves. They're afraid of not being validated by the creator, or just by naturally. They need man's validation so much, or just being's validation besides the creator. And that's where you start falling off at, G. That's when you start giving a fuck about what somebody say. The Most High gave it to you like, you ain't supposed to give a fuck about what nobody say, man. You know what I mean? Because you're living your life. If it's doing something, if you're not trying to harm nobody and bring hurt and pain, then you don't really supposed to give a fuck about what they doing and shit, because they're living their life. And Most High made it that way. All we have to do is learn how to deal in equality with each other and shit. Use the knowledge as the foundation, and then the wisdom is the way to your understanding, so you can deal in equality with all that you come across. This is how you born your way of life. It's a divine way of life. It's a freedom. It's a divine way of life. Victorious. It's a free culture. And it changes all the time. You know, just like the sun cycle, it changes all the dang on time. And this is what you are. You know what I mean? You're part of the ever-present. So tapping into your own psychology, tapping into your own psychological, you know what I'm saying, your own psychology, you'll be like, okay, you'll start seeing it in others. Then you'll start pinpointing what heaven they're on due to their own nature. That's why you ain't supposed to judge them, unless they're just AI machine and bots, and you know I can't be around them, you know, and they're going to be removed sooner or later, because they are projecting this cluster B personality disorder that they have on everybody. So you can damn near get infected just by the personality disorder alone around someone, depending on how toxic they are, because they can try to undermine things with you. Very deceitful, and not even really knowing that they're being deceitful. They just know that they can undermine you to get you to trigger you. And some people just live off the trigger. From the person who is just a natural walking trigger. You know what I'm saying? Not even trying to trigger a motherfucker. Just naturally walking. But you got people who try to trigger you. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what you got to watch out for. But your spiritual defense will be stronger and stronger once you start pinpointing all of those triggers inside of you and what you had to go through. That's guaranteed. Any false prophet should have told us that. In all of our health gurus, we should be talking about this more so than just being at peace, not smoking weed. And then you know how hard that is? Most High gave you aid and assistance. He gave you foods for certain things, foods for certain moods, man. You know, weed is a herb or is a fruit. Really, shit, it's all of them at the same damn time. It's alkaline. It's an etheric. It's more. If anything that's etheric, the herb is the etheric. G. You can smoke it. It ain't nothing wrong. Your lungs are gonna clear it out. They just scare you because they hate that you're smoking this shit. They came over, they smelled the shit. They're like, damn, what are they smoking? And they're chilling. And they got this corn. And they're cooking fish. And they're dipping this fish in this cornmeal. Shout out to We Know the Truth Now. Another Mississippian NAGA. You know? In the mounds, by the mounds. Ain't this something? These niggas is cool. They in the cities and they in the countries. You know? Whenever you feeling overwhelmed in the city, you gotta go to the country. Anytime you just been in the country so much, you get around in the city. It's a balance. Most High created that. That was happening in our land and shit. We was able to do that. We can go to the tropics, go to the islands. We can go down to the Amazons. We didn't have to have passports and shit, man. We were just going. We wanted to lay our head right there. That's what we did. But when invaders came, shit changed up. They came with that cluster B personality, G, telling you this, that, and the third. They can't even control their damn self. So that's where it's important and shit. Start controlling yourself. You start seeing it in the conscious community, the big eye little you, the toxic crusader. You know, you'll see that too. And you'll see who you're feeding, your energy. Certain individuals, and a lot of narcissists are really attracted to me. They always been that way in life. You know what I'm saying? They're attracted to anything that's good, so they can associate themselves with it. That's cool, you know. But as I grew, I started actually realizing the ones who have the love too, you know. And not to diss those, because as a narc, you can have that trait. You can diss the one who's actually showing you the actual gratification for your work that you're putting in. Like, yo, man, I can do this too. That's all Most High got me here doing. It's like, yo, I can do this too. We can have healthy relationships. Let us pinpoint our shit, our own shit, our toxicity first. Boom. So we won't go out here and gaslight our weak insecurities on somebody else. Now we can handle ourselves, and so we'll start raising up. The light will do it. Our light in our body. I hear you, Swift. The light in our body will start raising up. So we'll start honoring ourselves. We won't be able to do it if we're not honoring our own self first, the vessel first. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about not recklessly having sex and recklessly eating. You know, recklessly doing things. Just being reckless. You know what I'm saying? We're being careful. You know what I'm saying? We're being careful. So that's the main issue. Just basically just learning our own traits in our own, if it's pathological, learning that. We covered the NPD and the borderline today. We see that having a relationship with a borderline personality disorder is different. She has 4 different types of casts, you can say. You got the borderline waif for WAF, you got the queen, you got the witch, and you got the hermit. We got these type of different chicks. Now I'm gonna keep it real because I gotta talk like this so we can catch on. I know you've been around. We got these type of chicks out here, G, right? You know what I'm saying? So you got the borderline, you know, WAF or waif. She the type that needs someone to do something for all the time. I don't care what you had. It's like, depending on what type of mother you had, what type of relationship you had with these moms. So if you had a mother that just always was like, baby, can you come get this for me? And you way in another room and shit, and she always been doing that. Baby, I just can't seem to get this. Can you turn the channel to, you know what I'm saying? So when you get older, you get a chick, you're doing things for her, and she may not be a borderline waif, or she may be. If she is and she don't know it, and she see how you respond, subconsciously she knew you was raised by a woman who told you to do shit. You know what I'm saying? So she'll ask you to do shit over and over, subconsciously. It's like a part of y'all. So we're back. Hope y'all stayed up in here, man. So yeah, you may be dealing with a witch borderline. We was talking about the borderlines, the different forecasts real fast, so we can just round this all off so you see what type of chick you've been dealing with and what type of you've been conditioned to deal with. You know, so with a waif or a WAP, she tells you things to do. You be doing things for her, you like it, you feel that you're validated now, you know what I'm saying? Because you probably wasn't validated by your mother, or she did validate you to a point where it's like, okay, I feel good now for doing something for my woman. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause she's damn near just like my mom. Subconsciously talk to yourself. Now, you're dealing with a witch, you know what I'm saying? She's a little different. Now, she sees that you'll do things for her. A witch is one who's like a mean motherfucker. She's a mean borderline. She's a sexual woman, but she's a mean motherfucker though. You know what I mean? She's the type that if she's had a baby, she had babies, she'll make sure nobody give her baby shit type shit. Like shit versus their guy. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they ain't gonna never lose their baby, so they cuss their babies out like, fuck you, you ain't shit. You ain't gonna never be shit. You know what I'm saying? Your daddy ain't shit. But anyways, that's a witch, right? So if you've been dealing with it, if you was raised by a witch woman, chances are you're gonna treat bitches bad. Because it's like, man, fuck these toes, man. My mom ain't like me. Subconsciously talking, you know what I'm saying? Because you may have been raised by a borderline witch now. She's sexual, but she's a witch. Meaning that, and I'm not saying that she's a witch like doing spells and all that shit, but she could go to that type of energy and shit and dealing with her own sexual nature. They go to the beach, just roll past. She'll put a little drop up into your shit and your tacos, man. So you gotta be careful with those types. And you know if you're dealing with a witch or not, you just depend on, you just know. Well, a lot of them, especially if your mom is that way. But if your mom ain't that way, you'll just be like, man, I don't know what the fuck's up with this crazy ass bitch. She's always swinging on me. She's a witch, man. Right? So, bam. Go to the next one. It's the queen one, right? This motherfucker right here, she loves to get everything done for her, man. I mean, she's sexual. She look good and everything. She'll do everything for you. She got a good appeal. But as being the queen, she got the golden pussy syndrome. Meaning that the pussy she got ain't no other pussy better than hers, nigga. And if you fuck up, they still give it away. Remember, they're borderlines. They'll still give it away quick. I don't give a fuck what sign they are. They'll get that golden pussy away. And they'll be like, they know that psychologically in your mind, because that's what you are, your mind, and she's like the emotions and shit, you know it'll fuck you up mentally. You won't even function right. It's like when you fuck her emotions up, you're like, it'll fuck her up emotionally. And she's strong emotionally. It's like you're strong mentally. You know what I mean? So she can fuck you up emotionally because she's stronger than you. Confirmation with that. So with a queen, she's like, yo, I need things done for me. She's super pretty, she's super thick, she's super sexual, she's all of this stuff. She probably can dance. She probably got molested too when she was younger, and she was doing some molesting. Y'all up in there busting the daggone things. All right, stuff like that. Now we're gonna round it off with the last one, which is, you know, dealing with this cluster B personalities. It's all in these things that we've been fucking with the Cabbage Patch Kids, because they came over with all this shit. And they brought it out of us. We had the traits after a while. Because remember, we were squeaky clean. Niggas was squeaky clean, they can eat off our streets, man. That's why they heard myths of streets of gold and shit. You know what I'm saying? They came over. That's what you know, the Moors sent the Cabbage Patches and over and all that stuff. So anyhow, the last one is we're gonna say it's the actual hermit. Now the hermit, this borderline right here, she's sexy. She's bad. She don't never go outside though. She'll be inside watching TV and everything, playing dress up with a thick ass, watching, looking in the mirror. She take all the pictures. Her fucking Instagram or something like that is probably the most, because she's sitting there, ain't got shit to do. She's inside all the time. Why? Because she's afraid of going outside. She may get hurt. She don't let people in her life that much. Meaning that if you got into a hermit's life, man, y'all would be fucking behind closed doors all the damn time, because she lets you in the life now. Remember, a borderline woman is very highly sexual, just like a man, you know what I mean, if he's a borderline. But she's a borderline, so we're going to look at her, we're going to look at the hermit way. She's all of the same things, except she's not a witch as much, and she don't have the queen syndrome as much, and she don't have the weight to do for me type shit as much. She has the whole little, I'm at home, I do my own dishes, I cut my own arms up, you know what I'm saying? I do my own cutting, I watch my own TV, I do this, and she's that. If she had company, that'd be your best fucking friend. But the moment you slip up, nigga, and you get outside of her motherfucking comfort zone, she ain't gotta have sex with nobody else. Though she will, because she's a borderline, but she don't have to. She'll make sure that you won't come back into that comfort zone, at least for a long time, because it's a safe zone for her. She feels anything outside of that, she can get hurt, because she got hurt before growing up, or it's in her genes outside of her. They build this up. They build their own little fort up around themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's intricate. But a borderline Hermit is a fun one because they won't, they won't go out and fuck somebody else. They gonna be at home, motherfucker. They might talk, but then they be like, I don't want to mess up because they fear that abandonment. And if you can show that you'll lead their ass at the drop of a dime over some bullshit, not to be gaslighting this event, like, oh, you don't have unconditional love, like, bitch. Hey, that's what the twin flames and God, motherfucker. Hold up, man. I got conditions with my shit. You can't be doing this and that and the third, nigga. You ain't finna just think you gonna do this. Oh, it just happened. No, bitch, it don't just actually happen. Fucking don't just happen. Or she just sucked his dick, huh? Yeah, but you know, I didn't let him come. Oh, you didn't? Oh, I'm supposed to be feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit that we start being, we let our guard down for some dumb shit like that. Because she's so overly sexual, she don't look at it as a problem. That's why she got to be by herself. And she got to know, like, nigga, so once we all up on our shit, they going to have no choice but to face themselves. So they might kill themselves, man. It's kind of sad, too. The borderlines are like that. They hurt themselves. So when you hear them say that, I don't care what they are, you kind of got to check on them. Because they trying to get attention. And at the same time, borderlines don't really try to get attention like that. But if they need it and they do that, you got to really say what's up. A histrionic could try to get some attention. So, but you got comorbid, too, if you're dealing with a chick that's a stripper, that's a histrionic and a borderline. Oh, man. May have a histrionic, borderline, sociopathic, psychopath, motherfucker. Stripper at the club. Motherfucker, a rhymer, a hip-hop artist, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know how to handle it. And once you get your light up, ain't nothing they can do can fuck with you. She can sit there and suck dick on her live. If you ain't busted that many nuts in her, you ain't gotta worry about it. It don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been busting nuts on this motherfucker, it's gonna hurt bad, nigga. You're gonna be sitting there rewinding that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That was me calling, bitch. When you answer the phone, she's like, I know. I know it was your dusty ass. Fuck you. Like, damn. Turning you on and it hurt you at the same damn time, man. So, fuck that shit. Because it's ultimately gonna hurt you because you're gonna try a passion crime and try to hurt the bitch. And that's what she wants. Because she want to give a fuck. She wants you to give a fuck. And she don't feel like she give a fuck about herself. I got this nigga crazy. Nigga crazy over me, nigga. Yeah, that nigga sound like, she come around with the big ass black eye and everything. Yeah, that nigga did that shit. Borderline man the same way. Yeah, that bitch cut the shit out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he proud of that shit too. I got that crazy dick. Yeah. Like, nah, y'all both crazy, motherfucker. Y'all equally young. And I mean that in a good way. Yeah, man, we're finna wrap it up. It's coming around to that hour in that joint, man. So I'd like to thank y'all for coming up in here, man. For, you know, saying what's up, Malak. I hope I say that right, man. It's gratitude, bro. just gotta stay locked in on the discipline. That's it. That's right. Malak said that shit, man. I want to say it the right way too. The discipline is key. The higher you get up, you ain't gonna be dealing with the bullshit. And a woman love when you don't be dealing with her bullshit, boy. Ooh, like, bitch, I slip your ass and all that shit, but bitch, I'm letting you know, I leave your ass, man. I leave your ass. I'm telling you right now. You gonna be like, you just like the rest of them. I ain't really just like the rest of them. I just know I can leave your ass. I don't need you as no supply. I just leave you and be by. Like, I got the gift of buying. Like, multiply myself. Like, I'm gone, bitch. I ain't got time to play with you. You know what I'm saying? But we cool. We can have a conversation. We go have dinner. We can go chop it up. We can sit at the beach. We can smoke a little herb. We can chop, you know, whatever. But when you get to that point, they gonna automatically throw that stuff at you, G. I mean, it don't matter. I mean, I had chicks in our report. They paying. I mean, I had some offensive shit happen to be like, man, bitch, you really did do. I knew you was gonna do it. I just knew you was. But you know what I'm saying? After I done told them what a crazy bitch done did, they turn around and think of something else crazy to do. Like, man, about to put my ass on right here. It's our business. You know what I'm saying? They do shit like that, and they be fine too. You'll be like, God damn, but now I'm at a point though, you know what I'm saying? But they be fine as hell. I mean, looking like little Cinnamon Toast Crunch type of complexion, man. Like, damn, you know what I mean? So, you won't objectify them. You'll still be cool. You ain't losing out. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not done with the celibacy and you're still banging, respect your light and don't bust though. You know what I'm saying? Because you can carry that on. If you still want to bang some more chicks, get your little banging out the way. But don't be buzzing on all of them, man. Because you be investing that energy and they be getting egotistical. You know, when you get a chick egotistical, you can't tell that nothing. You know what I'm saying? She got 3-4 niggas comes all in the face, maybe. And then she don't have to have that many. She can just have yours. And she consider you the shit. And all she need to have is yours. And that. feeling all good and shit. You can tell when you get up in the morning who's the couple, who done, y'all had sex and shit. She's all energized, running down the street. You over there like nigga, yeah, she done set shit up. She done figured it out. Figured it out, man. You done invested. So yeah, man. That being said, I love y'all, man. I'm gonna get ready to go ahead and jump up off of here. We got the crowd behind me. They over there. You know. Yeah. So yes, it's how to stop watching porn. Woo, man. It's not really hard. Because once you don't watch it, you can be like, I don't watch it. So you may slip up a couple times to see it, but it's not about busting though, right? But if you bust, you slip up the bust, it depends on how well you at. If you start taking your hand, you find yourself making your hand going down, and that's different. You having sex with yourself now. But if you like in your mind and you like, you know, you just seeing, you learning and shit or something, strengthening Kegels or something, you can get to a point where they know you're weak enough. If your PC muscle ain't strong enough, you're busting that on yourself, G. That's how that works. That's why the PC muscle, the exercise, you gotta do about, yeah. So we about them Kegels, get about 100 of them a day, man. It'll help you, especially if you're about to have sex and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you can actually. We're gonna get into that more. It's gonna have to be on more private because, you know, it's some jewels here, G. You can actually use this for forever, like for forever, man. Man, making a woman come is the best thing you can possibly do. You don't want to make a man come. You don't want to look at because you can get lower and lower looking at porn. You fuck around. Oh, this is what they doing over there. Next thing you know, you fucked up. Now you can't get hard because you got to see something that's fucking taboo. Because it ain't nothing. It ain't like it's like okay, this is normal and shit. You gotta go through different phases of different sexuals. Mothers might like the train. Mothers might like the man that look like a woman, but it's the whole taboo of that it is a man, but looking like a woman. But it's a man, nigga. You know what I'm saying? With the makeup on and shit. It may need to be a bitch. You know, it's a lot of little things that come with sex and shit. So it's like to fuck up your cosmic inner orbit. It's like porn will stimulate you. Well, not even stimulate, but it'll send you these dopamines all through your brain, man, and it's kind of like you'll be addicted to getting that dopamine fix. So you can go months without watching porn, and then you jump back in to see where you at. If you already got to your highest point of porn, like that right there, that's some real shit. You ain't gotta watch it for a while or whatever. You find yourself get back in, you're gonna see it's gonna get worse and worse. Especially if you're honoring your temple. Most high in them, the universe ain't gonna allow you to go back down once you start paying tithes. You know, once you start. When I say paying tithes, I'm talking about like honoring your semen retention, you know what I'm saying? Not busting nuts and shit like that. That's the tides. That's the real tides, energy and shit. Once you start doing that, the universe ain't gonna let you line up. It's gonna slap you in your hand every time. Every time the bone breaks, something gonna fuck up, man. It's gonna hunt so how's the turtle? You know what I'm saying? Something gonna break, G. Because you done already devoted so much time into bettering yourself that the universe not even gonna let you fall off. And if it do, you're fucked. I guarantee you that one. Because when a mug fall off, it gives you so many chances once you on, because it took so long for you to get on, they're not gonna let you fall off as quick. You know, that's why you see with certain celebrities and certain people who got famous or not famous, but you know, successful in their financial ways or whatever they wanted to succeed, and their ego got in the way, and thus they started lowering their sexual desire, lowering their self sexually. I think that Nature Boy did that shit like that. You knew it was coming. You couldn't master sex, so. The universe will send you something when they let you fall off. You had so many chances. So the universe had to let shit fall. You know what I mean? But for those who got the heart, the universe will aid you and assist you through your hells and troubles that you got to go through. Keeping a you know high elevated mind state. But yeah, porn is it's horrible in real life. So you're really not supposed to watch it. If you can get all your watching out studying wise. Get that out the way if you gotta learn something versus than just being fleshly to you. It's different when it's fleshy. You know what I'm saying? When it's fleshy, you ain't got shit else to do, you're gonna bust one. You know what I'm saying? But if you're really trying to heal yourself, then you're gonna really have to like not look at that shit. Cause porn is really attractive to a borderline personality person, one who's very highly sexual. Narcissists will watch porn, but they won't watch it like, they'll watch it to a point where remember, a narcissist you have a covert narcissist and a overt narcissist. That coincides with the somatic, and the cerebral. All right. So remember, we got cerebral narc and we got the somatic narc, the mental and the physical. Now, the covert narcissists are underneath one. You don't know what they do. You don't know that they're narcs. All right. They're like they're very underneath. Versus an overt narc, you know that's a narc. It's very brash, it's very out there, you know what I'm saying? The same thing with a woman and shit, you know, a woman or a man. So the covert narcs is you gotta pay attention, because they know how to slide into your life as being so cool you wouldn't even know that there was a covert narc. But you'll peep it out, your light will peep it out. And so yeah, man. That being said, man, the porn just definitely gotta work out every damn near 6 days a week. Get your mind off of porn and don't watch it at night at all. If you're about to doze off, don't watch nothing at night like that, because you're planting yourself. You're putting this chemical in you. You know what I'm saying? Women are more horny at night. Men ain't really horny at night. You just ain't got no pussy at night. You know what I'm saying? So you're putting this chemical. You're letting your body produce this chemical. Now, when you go in the dream state, you're probably most likely you're not on the third resurrection where God is really truly at. You're probably on first resurrection, running around with the spirits who just need to be lustful and shit, you know what I'm saying? Earthly spirits. And so you'll see somebody in the dream, it'll happen, you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, something happening, you're releasing. And you know that shit ain't right, because it's almost like a rape. It's like they're raping you, but you gave it consent by just producing these chemicals in your body. Depends on how much DMT you can produce. Yeah, that's important, DMT, because that determines your heaven, where you on when you go to sleep or when you go to rest. You got low amount of DMT in you, they produce a low amount, I guarantee you're gonna be lustful and shit. You want to eat poisoned animals and meats and shit like that, you know? And it's not really healthy and shit. And so get out that porn, man. Get out the porn, get out the whey protein, get the fuck out the whey. Getting out the whey protein for sure. We adding these fruits in, and we killing parasites, P. That's it. It's devil killing season. Lower weaker self killing season. Finding the devils inside of you and kill them. Don't try to gaslight on nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Your insecurities to get them to follow you. You know, like you're the shepherd. They're gonna see it to follow. You know, if they want to roll with you and that you can better them, they'll see it. It's the season where everybody's going to develop that relationship with the all creator their own self, or with the universe they self. It's not going to be like angels and gods and shit telling them how to do shit like this. You're going to be your own priests and priestesses, your own kings and kings, your own emperor, your own tribe, all right? So, that being said, I love y'all. Thanks for joining in. Logan, salute. Definitely. You want to know more? You want to get down more, man? You got to go into my YouTube page. I got a link right there. You can definitely discuss it and go through this and give you some, this daily insight and inspiration and motivation to keep that shit away from you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can be pulling broads and pulling females, man, and being smooth, looking good, shining. Working out. Attracting the females you want. It don't matter how you really look. You gonna attract the females how you want. They're gonna feel that energy. You're gonna be feeling good, you know what I mean? So if you need that insight, I got the link right on my YouTube page. Boom, we can go from there. We just chop it up, 15 minutes a day, you know what I mean? 10 to 15 minutes a day. All right, that being said, I love y'all. Peace, more love and light, and I'll be with you next.